Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar. Just good. Nice to see you, Temi. Nice to see everyone. So quickly, just a just a brief introduction of what this webinar is about. We have all been hearing AI everywhere. It's been rampant on our fields, everywhere in the industry, and we are doing a series, actually a three-part series on AI, how you can use AI to your advantage and how to make the most use of it so that you are not replaced. Because whether you like it or not, um, if you don't learn how to use AI to benefit yourself, sooner or later, like it's just going to be better. And every day it's getting better. I saw a video of what AI did like 2 years ago and what it did now. Same video, super better. Like the results are clear and it's clean, right? So you must know how to harness AI to better yourself. And we have no other person here than aiming to do some justice to AI. I'm just going to read a little bit of Demi's background, and so you can see that she's a big woman, right? Thank you for
Oh,
thank you for honoring our invitation. Right. So
yeah.
just a brief background of Temi. Temi is a mechanical engineering student who began her career in the energy industry, where she worked for 2 years, especially serving as a data analyst. So in that role, she translated customer consumption data into key business insights. Her first practical exposure to data and technology. So during our postgraduate, Temi in the UK now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Temi, in 2023, Temi enrolled in master's program in artificial intelligence, which she completed just last month. So Temi has a master's in artificial intelligence. That's amazing. All right. So Temi worked on a UK government project as a digital and
Marys.
numeracy tutor. Right. She developed Imole. This Imole,
Yes, Imole. That's the name of my product.
that's the name of your product. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I'll give you an insider joke later. Developed Imole, an AI-powered legal assistant that helps everyday people access legal guidance through the use of case law and precedents. Alongside, alongside her academic pursuits, she serves as a society's representative in the Students' Union of her school. She is currently the vice president of the British Computer Society at our university and represents the Midlands as an ambassador for rewriting the code, a global community supporting women in tech. Outside the world of tech, Timmy is passionate about teaching, a devoted follower of Christ, obviously, and an avid cricketer. Oh, nice. She lives each day with the mission to honor God and use her gifts to make a meaningful impact. Thank you, Temi. Can just drop a clap emoji in the comments just to welcome Temi. It's nice to have you here, Temi. So I'm just going to let you dive right in because we have 1 hour to spend. So we get the most value from you and what you have for us. I know you've had something to present for us. So I'm just going to let you go right in and present, and then if we have questions, we can ask after the session. All right. So then you can start. You can present your screen now.
Okay. Once again, good evening, everybody. Let me see if I'm in my full screen. Okay, I think I am. All right. I'm hoping you can see my, yes, you can see my full screen. Just let me know if you can. Can you?
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, that's great. So yes, that's a little bit about me. And today I will be talking about thriving with artificial intelligence. And I wanted us to start today with a bit of, going back to history. Let's see. Oh, what's this now? Oh, okay, good. Yes. So AI is very popular now. Everybody's talking about AI. People are scared. Hey, go AI, take my job. And something like this has happened in the past before. There's been a lot of like tech revolutions that has happened in the past, and we had people who were against it, where they were like, no, Jare, please, you people should not take it seriously. It's not a big deal. And then we had people who embraced those tech revolutions, and it worked out so well for them. And so I'm going to sort of take us down memory lane just so that you know how important it is that you are jumping on the train of AI, because stuffs like this have happened in the past. So the first example that I would give us today is Kodak and digital photography. So we know, like in the past, long ago, they used to use film. They didn't have digital photos, and Kodak was a very popular company. Steve Sasson invented the first digital camera, but the company's leadership shelved the idea because they felt like it's not going to be popular, it's not going to make waves. And they made a big mistake, because after they shelved the idea, companies like Canon, Sony, and Nikon built their own digital camera, and they took up the entire space. And Kodak filed for bankruptcy in 2012. I don't know, like, I want you to put it in comment section. Have you heard of the company Kodak before? You probably haven't. That's because they did not jump on the train, and they became redundant. Another example that we have, and I'm very happy about this company. Did you know that Netflix wanted to sell their idea, like Netflix founders wanted to sell their idea to a company called Blockbuster? So back in the day, we didn't have live streaming. When people want to watch movies, they will go to like these stores that have the movies. You go rent the movies, and then you play it in your DVD player. How many people used cassettes when they were younger? I don't think am I as old as that. Okay, so you go to the so you go to like the store, you get the cassette, you put it into your that long box. Yeah, and then so Blockbuster was the Netflix of that time. They were the ones that were reigning. I don't know if you watch Young Sheldon, you probably would have seen them. And then Netflix came to them, they told them about their idea of like online streaming, and they were like, nope, this idea is not going to sell. And they laughed it off. And thankfully, because I'm happy for Netflix, because thankfully the thing sold off, and Blockbuster had to file for bankruptcy in 2010, and Netflix today is valued at over $200 billion. Okay, so my last example of today is very popular. Please raise your hand if you used BlackBerry. Me, I didn't use it because my parents didn't allow me to use phones until I was 18. So all my friends that were using BlackBerry, they were on 2Go, they were on Facebook. Like, you were the in thing that year if you were using BlackBerry. And BlackBerry had, most phones that time did not have screens, right? You would have to use buttons to sort of type your messages. And so when Apple came to the industry, and they built the first all-screen phone, BlackBerry laughed at them, and they were like, this thing is not going to sell. They have the huge share of the market, and that they had about 50% of the US smartphone market as of 2027. And they were like, don't worry, Gary, this nonsense idea that Apple has is going to die off very soon. And now today, BlackBerry owns less than 1% of the market. Less than 1%. And anybody that's using an Apple phone today now is either a big boy or a big girl. Nobody talks about BlackBerry again. Why? You see, there's a pattern, because they didn't jump on the train well enough. And so I gave this example so that you sort of understand how important this is. Another tech revolution. AI it's not going anywhere. Like, if somebody is telling you that, don't worry, there's evidence already that this is another tech revolution, and you should be jumping on the train so that you don't become redundant. Okay, so let's sort of paint an idea of what AI is. I know some people already know what AI is, but some people just know the name, and they might likely not know what exactly it is. AI is a field of computer science, and basically what they are trying to do is to make computers be able to do things that humans can do. So they want computers to be able to read, to be able to write, to make decisions, to solve problems. We can see that AI is helping in programming right now. AI is helping in decision making. In the legal industry, AI, supports lawyers to prepare for their cases. We see AI in the healthcare industry. Oh, in the entertainment industry, I'll show some examples. And basically what they are trying to do is to be able to help or to build computer systems that can do what humans can do. That's it in simple terms, because I know some people will be here that are not technical. And the funny part is that AI became popular, I think, around 2022, when OpenAI, broke the internet with ChatGPT. But it has been existing for a very long time. And the first time that the term AI was coined was in 1956. There was a conference in Dartmouth College, and that was where they started to do work on AI. I like to give an example. I don't know why I'm using a lot of Young Sheldon references today. It's not like I watch the series a lot. But do you know that there was a time they built something kind of like ChatGPT, like long ago? And what they were just trying to do was to build a conversational robot, chatbot. Obviously, it can never be on the level of what we have today. But this is just to let you know that, this thing did not just come up all of a sudden. It has been there. And I will, show you some examples of where it exists that you don't know. So for instance, when you shop online, you notice that if you buy one thing, they give you, examples of stuff that you might, most likely like. That is AI, and it's a concept called association rule mining. Another example is when Spotify creates daily mix playlists for you, is that the engine behind that is something called a recommendation system, and that is also AI. Your email, you notice that how is your email smart enough to be able to know when something is a junk mail or is a mail you should put in his inbox? That is his classification model. So there's a engine or a system at the back end that has been trained to identify different kind of mails, and based on what it identifies, it sort of puts them in classes. That is also AI. Another recommendation system is Netflix. You watch a movie on Netflix and it's recommending, movies that it feels like you will like. That is also like a recommendation system. Your Face ID on your phone, for those of us that use phones that you can, unlock with your phone. That's the concept behind that is a model called CNN, convolutional neural networks. And basically the job of that, neural network, or that model, is to make sense of images. So yeah, you can see that there's AI already scattered around, all that we use. But the difference between AI of those days and AI of now is it's not more something that you see behind the scenes. It's not more invisible. It's now in our faces. We have, ChatGPT that you can ask questions and it will answer you. We have DeepSeek, we have Claude AI, we have, conversational AIs that you can talk to and they will respond to you in speech form. We can make videos with AI. I was having a discussion with Toby before we joined the call, and he was talking about how Canva has just released a feature where you just give all your information to Canva and then it makes your presentation slides for you. That's not what I use today, Sha. Anyways, so yes, AI now is in our faces, and people are using it to make their lives easier. People are using it to stay on top of their game, and you shouldn't not enjoy in it. You should be jumping on the train. So like I said, you can talk to AI like a human. You can write essays, generate art, analyze data. There's a feature in ChatGPT now, if you don't know about it, where you give it a data set, like you literally give it an Excel sheet and it does your data analysis for you. These are just examples of things that makes your life easier. That when you are given an assignment at work and one person is taking like 6 hours to do it and you are done with it, people will be wondering what it is. But if you are not exposed to that information, you will not know. So it's no longer a background assistant, it's a co-creator. So yeah, I have, convinced you that this is another tech revolution and you should be jumping on it. I have explained what AI is. I have shown you, different things that you interact with every day that is actually AI. And we've made sense that AI is no longer invisible, it's in our faces, and it is extremely important that you are jumping on the train. But how do you make sure that this same thing doesn't happen to you? The things that happen to BlackBerry, that happen to Kodak, that happen to Blockbuster doesn't happen to you. The first point is you need to understand the basics. You will never really be able to use something if you don't understand how it works. Our phones, right? One of the reasons why our, moms and dads, I'm sure like a lot of us here, if you're still living at home or when I was still living at home, my mom she can't change Netflix. If she wants to like maybe switch shows on Netflix or she wants to use DSTV, she doesn't know how to do it because she doesn't know how it literally works. But because you know how those things work, you know how, how it works basically, you can navigate around it. So you need to understand how AI systems work. If you don't understand how it works, you won't be able to, use it as well as you should be using it. Because the thing is, a lot of people query ChatGPT, right? They query these models, but you're not getting the best that you can out of it because you don't really know how it works. I'm going to give an example. I'm going to show you, I think if I still have time, I'll give you an example of a cover letter that I wrote, and you will never believe it was an AI that wrote it. And I did not put it in a humanizer. It was basically AI. But there's just a way around, doing these things that if you don't really understand how it works, you won't be able to use it as well as you should. And I have recommended some courses. These courses are not, again, these courses are not courses I'm saying, oh, I want you to now learn tech. It's just to help you understand the basics. I'm hoping that I'm able to share these slides after the session. So I've given an example of 2 courses, very easy. You don't need to have a technical background to go through it. It is just to help you to understand how these things work. And then the second point I'm going to give today is you need to stay curious. When I was growing up, my dad would tell me, before you ask anybody any question, you should ask Google first. And that sort of built something in me where before I ask anybody any questions, or if anything is confusing me or I don't know something, I Google it first. And it really helped me to build my knowledge because I'm very fast to Google. Maybe, for instance, I remember there was a time I think I wanted to, I don't even know where the idea came from. I wanted to summarize a YouTube video and I wanted it in like text form. And I just typed it on Google. I was like, is there a way I can summarize a YouTube video and turn it into text form? And guess what, you guys, we actually have something called YouTube video summarizers. I didn't know that before. If I had asked 1 or 2 people, they probably would not know. But the internet is your friend. That's why the internet is there. You have to stay curious. You need to want to know, the things that are going on. I know sometimes people say there's no question that is a stupid question. But if you are not doing your own personal research first, it's going to be very hard for, people to help you because it doesn't show that you have done your research. And again, another advice that my dad will always give me is when you're going to ask, especially a technical person a question, the person needs to already know that you've done your research. So again, it's so important that you're staying curious. It's so important that you're doing your research. It's so important that you are ensuring that you are, made aware, like you are going with the trends. It's not enough for you to, don't know the trends that are on Twitter or in Instagram, the latest wedding or being on Insta blog. This is not just even for tech. This is even generally. when you see some people that they are well versed, like when they talk, you are like, "Ah, how did they gain that?" It's from, staying curious. It's from ensuring that, they are doing their research. And I gave some examples here because this, webinar is about AI. You should, if you're not following OpenAI on Instagram or on LinkedIn, why are you not? If you're not following these big tech companies that are making waves in the AI industry on social media, I don't know what you are doing, because you want to stay informed. You want to know what is happening in the industry. And then another thing that I gave as example here, which is something I also discovered today, is you could set something called Google Alerts. So if you go online and you type the word Google Alerts and you click on it, the instructions will lead you. So what you can just do is you can tell Google Alerts that you want it to be giving you information on AI. And then you can set, okay, maybe you want it every day, you want it weekly, you want it monthly, however frequency that you want, you can set that. And that is how you can just, try to keep yourself informed. You are in the loop. Okay. And then, the third one, which is so important, is you need to start using these tools. I know that there are a lot of AI tools that are paid for, but I made a list of, a few that are free. So ChatGPT and Claude, you can use them for free for a limited period of time. But there's one that was trending, for a while, I think at the beginning of the year or so. It's called DeepSeek. It's completely for free. It's as powerful as ChatGPT. It takes in PDFs, pictures, images, whatever. It takes in those things. So if you know that you don't have that extra cash to spend on, this closed source, GPTs, please try DeepSeek. And then for study and research, for those of us that are still in school, if you're not using Notebook LM yet, in fact, these things have sort of spoiled me. I've been saying that I want to, start taking time to write more, because now me, I don't write again. When I'm when I want to give a prompt to AI, I just use the speech to text feature. So Notebook LM is a product that Google came up with that just helps you to take, and I use this a lot. I used it a lot when I was working on my research work. When I was building Imole, I would take like research papers and put it in Notebook LM, and then Notebook LM converts it into an audio for you, and then you just listen to it like a podcast. Isn't that so nice? And then another one here is Size Space. Size Space, when you give it a prompt, it will go on the internet and then web scrape papers that are relevant to what you are working on or relevant to your prompt. So it's very useful if you're in school, if you're doing research, or you want to start to read more technical papers. Note GPT-2 is, the AI system I found that helps me to convert YouTube videos to text. It will take your YouTube video, it will summarize it, and then give you back in text. And then for video and content editing, we have Supercut. Supercut is like a replacement for Loom. I don't know if anybody uses Loom here. Loom is some sort of tool that you use to record meetings, and just for video and content editing. And then Supercut is for free. So if you're tired of subscribing to Loom, or you're tired of not using, the premium features, please go ahead and use Supercut. And then Sesame is another open source tool that trended for a while last week. It is a speech conversational tool. You need to try it out because it is crazy. Like, you will not believe you're talking to an AI. So yeah, those are just examples of some tools I wanted to share with us. There's one that I wanted to share that is not here, but it's called Google. Okay. It's called Google AI Studio, and it has this feature called real-time audio. I don't know if I'll be able to give us I wanted to see if I could do like a live usage. But basically what I use that for is it has this crazy feature where AI can interact with your screen in real time. So you might have a work that you're doing, and then it tells you to share your screen. So you can ask it, oh, what can you see on my screen? I think ChatGPT can do that too, but you have to pay on ChatGPT to have that feature. So this one is completely for free. It's seeing what is on your screen in real time, and it's giving you responses in real time. Guys, these are things you should be using to sort of like supercharge your life. It just makes like life easier, and there's really no reason why you shouldn't be using it. And the last one I would like to talk about is learn prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is basically how you are able to, get the information out of, these models. One thing you need to know is that it's not like these models have consciousness. They don't have consciousness. It's basically just numbers they work with. Their system are just numbers, because again, computers only understand numbers. And so if you are able to sort of like manipulate, their output well enough, it will give you the best information. I was saying that I wrote a cover letter from ChatGPT, and you will literally not know that I used AI to, write it. And that's because I have mastered prompt engineering. You need to be able to know how to get the best from these models. I'll give an example, just a general example. If you want your partner or your mom or your dad to give you something, there's a way you can their soft spots, where you would target, so that you can get the best out of them. That's basically what prompt engineering is. You need to be able to sort of master it to know how best to get the information you want from these tools. And there are so many courses online that I didn't have the time to sort of put some links there, but there are so many courses you can use to learn. YouTube, oh my god, YouTube should be your friend. YouTube is not just for watching videos or watching movies. There's just so much free resources to use to learn on YouTube. So I would urge you to take some time, look for a free prompt, and they are mostly always free. Look for a free prompt engineering course and take it, so you sort of understand prompt engineering and you can get the best from these models. There's one thing I wanted to say. If you're a software engineer on this call, I think that you should actually, so I know that there are some, non-coders here and people that are not in the tech industry, but I think if you're a software engineer, you should begin to build skills in machine learning, because it was recently, or I feel like my master's degree didn't really, touch on that. I have learned now that there's something called ML Ops, and LM Ops is when you're trying to take those models that you have built on your laptops and then, push it out for people to use. And there's something in software engineering called DevOps. So software engineers basically have mastered, the deployment phases of, now I'm talking to like technical people. I'm so sorry if, my non-technical people don't understand me. So software engineers have basically learned DevOps. So which means all they need to learn is just the basics of machine learning and deep learning. You would thrive in the machine learning industry. And especially now that we have tools like Cursor that they want to they want to steal the jobs of software engineers. So you need to keep upskilling. So I would say, like, I want to urge anybody that's a software engineer on this call to please start to learn machine learning engineering skills and see how you could sort of like, and then it even opens, better opportunities for you, because now you can work as a software engineer and then you can also pursue machine learning engineering roles. So what do you have to lose? So I'm moving forward. See, our next point is, yes, so there might be some people on this call that are saying, okay, I think this tech industry thing is very interesting. I like it, and I'm thinking of breaking into tech. That's the popular term. I'm thinking of breaking into tech. Again, I'll be giving advice to, tech roles that have to do with coding. I know there's no code tech, and I can't speak on that because I'm not in that industry. But the first advice I'm going to give is build your skills. I know, now there's so much competition in the industry like this, guys, is it's not easy. But like anything, if you want to get a gig, maybe you're interested in catering and you want to get a gig as a caterer for somebody's wedding. If you don't know how to cook, how do you want to be able to get gigs as a caterer? So the first thing you want to do is to build your skills before you start to pursue certifications, before you start to think about getting a master's degree or going back to school. Please build your skills. In fact, I wish I had been doing a bit of like courses and like stuff before I started my master's, but I wish I did more, because if I had done more, I would have had like some sort of a soft landing, because hey God, that master's really dealt with me. Anyway, so yeah, the first thing is you want to build your skills, build real and practical skills, and work on projects. And I always say this thing: build publicly. I know, like, see, before I started my master's degree, I was very introverted. Yeah, I can be bold where I'm comfortable, but I was very introverted. And obviously, I know that this is a Christian community. And I remembered when I was, just praying and just preparing to relocate, I remember God telling me that I should build in public. Um, and I didn't understand that, because I was not exactly like someone that you would see will post pictures online or be putting her business out there. And God was literally telling me, build in public. Like, and He gave me specific instructions on what to do. So He said I should start a blog and I should be documenting every week of my master's on social media. And so the social media I used at the time was LinkedIn. So every single week that of my master's degree, like when I relocated, I would be telling people what was happening in my life. It was so uncomfortable, because I was like, why am I giving people TMI? But this was an instruction, and I'm a child of God. I do not disobey God's instruction. And guys, my first job, so Toby mentioned that I worked on a UK government project as a digital and numeracy tutor. My first job in the UK was because of that blog. So my the person that would eventually become my boss was following my blog, and he really liked it. He would see how I'll be talking about I was attending interviews and stuff. And so when I submitted my application and they were going through the process of picking, shortlisting, once he saw my name, he just rang a bell. Do you understand? He knew who I was. And honestly, I would say, I'm not saying that, that was completely what got me the job. But when I resumed, my boss did not stop talking to everybody about how Temi has a blog. So every time we would have a meeting, he would say, you guys, Temi has a blog, and where she documents her master's journey. You guys should follow her. You guys. So to me, I felt he literally was like a fan. And why? Like, because I was building publicly. I always tell people, even if you're not even interested in the tech space, even if it's something else that you are interested in, please build publicly. Like, you are a child of God, and the Bible says you are a light. So why are you hiding yourself? Why are you not putting yourself out there? Why do you not want people to see the beautiful thing that God has bestowed upon you? I'm not saying everybody should become a content creator. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something called personal branding that we need to take seriously. Because aside from tech, that is even, the new tech revolution, another thing that is happening right now is personal branding. It is so important. Imagine that you're going for an interview and you're going for an interview where you're applying for a software engineer role, and somebody already, the person that's your HR that is doing the recruitment, remembers your name on how you make posts about software engineering, how you help people, you're teaching people about software engineering, you are building projects online about it, and then there's some other people that they don't know them from anywhere. That's like a stylish referral. Referrals are when someone tells people about you. That's a way you can refer yourself without anybody referring you. So please, if you're not already, if you are a stylist, a hairstylist, you are a clothes stylist, you are a caterer, whatever it is that you are doing, please build publicly. And then my second advice, I'm going to try and rush now because I don't think I have a lot of time. Pray first. I know that tech is, the in thing, and everybody's thinking, oh my God, there's money in tech, but we are children of God, and we don't do anything without the guidance of our Father. See, I think my life or my journey so far, I'm not that old, has taught me that when you walk in God's will, there's just this ease you will enjoy. I'm not saying there's not going to be tough times, but even in those tough times, you would have peace because you know you are walking in alignment with what God wants for you. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has the reason why God has created them. And so when you seek God's face on what that is and you find it out, see, life will become easy. Again, I'm not saying that there will not be tough times, but even in those tough times, you'll be encouraged because you know that you are working in alignment with what God wants for you, and everything will work out for good. So yes, before plugging in, pause and pray. Ask God to guide your steps. If you sense His peace and backing, again, don't just throw your job away overnight. You might be working, you might be working in a particular industry. I was working in the energy industry, and it took me a while before I was like, you know what, okay, I want to go and do a master's degree. So I did not just wake up one day and say I was going to do a master's degree. I started to build my skills first. I started to take certifications, try and see, do I actually like this industry? Do I actually like coding and problem solving? And then I started to build my skills a little, and I felt when I felt that it was time, and when God, also affirmed that it was time, and then I moved. So start building on the side, grow gradually, and let wisdom lead your transition. And then my next point is I have shared some, links. I know sometimes people's questions is, oh, what's roadmap should I use? Whatever you want to learn. Again, I'm going to share these slides. Roadmap, this website has roadmaps for any tech industry, any tech role that you're interested in. And if you're particularly interested in software engineering or machine learning, you need to start getting comfortable with data structures and algorithm. And LeetCode is a place to start. And then do some smart stalking. There's a story I wanted to share here. I have a friend from uni that wanted to break into data engineering. And she shared that what she started to do is she started to look for people that were already working in the industry she wanted to work in. And she was checking what certifications have they done? What projects have they worked on? What skills did they have? And she started to use that to build her portfolio. And today she's, I think, a lead data engineer at Wema Bank. And so that's another this thing. Do some smart stalking. Look for someone that is already living the life you're envisioning to live, and sort of look at their track record. There's someone that I really like. Her name is Temilade Salami. And one of the things I've been saying I'm going to do is to scroll down to her Instagram and see where her journey started from. So yeah, you can do some smart stalking. And just to conclude, again, please stay curious. Always want to know what is behind how this thing works. And remember, I have spoken a lot about a lot of things today. Please take action. If it's that the action, I want to urge you, if it's that the action you want to take today is maybe this whole thing of AI is new to you. You want to take a course to help you understand how AI works. Maybe you're already using AI and you want to take a prompt engineering course. Just start. Don't just come to this call and leave this call. Take action, take a course, build an app, apply for the internship, message that mentor, do some smart stalking, just start. And once again, my name is Temi Adeyelu, and I am rooting for you. Thank you so much for joining and listening to me. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer them. Okay, I can see your hand already raised.
Thank you so much, Temi. So we'll start taking questions now. If you have questions, you don't want to talk, you can drop it in chat box. But if you have questions, we'll start taking questions now. I think live music. Live music. For James has a question. You can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Good evening, Temi. Wonderful session. Good to hear from you again. Good evening, Toby. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yes. Yes, thank you for everything you said. Nice presentation. I learned some things. I just want to ask regarding for singers and musicians.
Yeah.
Are there ways because you talked about everybody being alert that AI is the new revolution, tech revolution, and all that. So, are there ways AI could take, I don't know, I don't want to say jobs because singers and musicians don't exactly do jobs, but like the art of musicianship,
Yeah.
and if there is, how can singers and musicians leverage
Yeah.
AI tools to, for better productivity? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, I would not be able to tell you the kind of jobs that AI is going to take in the future because I cannot see, into the future. But I would say that, like, um, one of the ways that you could leverage AI is maybe in songwriting, um, just to make things easier for you, somebody that you can sort of brainstorm with. That's another thing I use AI for. I had a presentation in Scotland this week, and I had a rough idea of what I wanted to present, but I didn't really know how to flesh it out. And I just started to have conversations with my ChatGPT. And then before I knew it, we already had a topic. Before I knew it, he had something to work on. So however way you feel like you can, maybe there's something that you do is a repetitive task, or sometimes you feel like you need help with brainstorming or doing research. These are ways you could leverage AI. I don't think AI is going to take the job of musicians anytime soon, because we're still trying to perfect their speech, the speech features. Sometimes when you hear some voices, that it's AI, but it's getting better. But yeah, another thing is you just, again, like, staying in the loop, because every day there's always more advancements. So you want to always know when there's something new has come up. So once you stay in the loop, and like the changes that are happening in the industry, maybe more tools are coming out that could help you to make your work easier. Yeah, I don't know if I've answered that question well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, I think I've seen some incredible things also for musicians. I think I've seen an AI too. I can't remember now, but then it helps generate like baselines, some other things, like just tell you what you want, and then it helps you generate it. I think one of the best use of AI for me is the ideation, the
Mm,
ideas, right? If you are, because singers are writers, like, so if you can use AI for ideation, I used to tell, like, what you said was very very true. That before you ask somebody, ask Google. Now, like, AI is just a Google on steroids. Like, instead of you searching like on Google and going to through different blogs, yeah, I'll just give you the like compilated stuff there. And so ideation is very very good. Um, if you are if you're a writer too, like, if you want to start writing, which I think everybody should be a writer, like, God wrote the Bible, so like, we should all be a writer. But if you want to start writing also, AI is a powerful one. Like, it's not an excuse that you can't write or you can't post online. Like, I used to remember, it used to take me like a full day to write an email, because I'm a marketer. It take me a full day to write an email. Today I can write 100 emails in one day with AI, like even more than that. And with the way I've trained my AI, my ChatGPT, like my own ChatGPT is trained, so it
That
already
earpiece, the
it
earpod.
already knows what I want to do. Like, I just have to say it knows every detail about me, because I've prompted it so much, and then I just say what I want to do. Like, all my clients, they are there. Like, and the memory is crazy. Like, I cannot say these social clients creates this environment to bring all the details and everything. So it makes everything easier for everybody. And even if like you think that AI is not in your industry now, just go to Google or go to YouTube and
yeah,
search AI
yeah.
in this. You will see so many videos on how you can use AI. And it's getting better. Like, it's getting better. I remember when AI first came out, the graphics, like AI doing graphics, like everybody, like designers were like, no, like the thing was still like this is like this poor, like you know if it's AI, you know if it designs AI, it's like I'll sing carousels of it, like AI can never like you know if it now I will give you a design, you never know it was AI. Like so, and it helps also like because I'm a social media manager also, and I help like I can create a whole content calendar with the graphics, with the write up, captions, everything in one day, in 2 hours. Yeah, I'm not even joking, right? And this is because of AI and sales pages. I used to write sales pages for like a week. Now I can write it in 1 hour because of AI. So and this is when you charge, you are able to charge more, right? You're able to do more with AI.
Can can do more in very short amount of time. Yeah.
Yes. Any other questions? Like this session has been so impactful. There are some things that there are some tools that you gave that I'm still going to go and do my research on. Like you mentioned one a replacement for Loom because Loom has showed me shaggy. I'll do because I'm using the free version of Loom. I've deleted videos that it took me time to start from. Right,
Yeah.
I think I'll go and look at
Super
Supercut,
cool. Mm.
Google AI Studio. All right. Thank you so much, Temi. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? If you don't have any questions, like we just close early today. Any questions? Any contribution? Anyone wants to give? Um, okay, Esther, please come up. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Temitope. Really, I think mine is just more of a charge to people that as much as some people are scared that AI will come for their jobs, it's better to know that AI can simplify our jobs for us. And I think AI even goes beyond just detecting. You are looking for how to make amala right now, and then you've seen the mixer that people are using to make amala now, and is as I don't know, is the Yoruba word that is coming to my mind, ofele bieti. You see all these mixers and people are using it, so somehow artificial intelligence just makes work easier for us. It doesn't mean that it's going to actually sweep out everyone, but of course it's going to sweep out the people who are not willing to move with the tide. So if you're not moving with the tide, then it would move the trash, or it would move the people who are not aiming to get better. And thank you for this roadmap. In fact, the moment I opened it, it felt like I just entered a gold mine. I'm going to check this out again. This is mentally opening. And then I think you should check Grok out, GROK. I think
Mm.
that's also a crazy AI tool. It helps even developers. You can develop a game, you can develop anything. I don't want to say everything, but you can develop as much as you can. You can even I think you can get images from there as well. So it's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for having me. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. So I'll go and check out Grok
Thank,
after this call too.
thank you so much, Esther. There's one I've forgotten. It's for creating design. So if you're a designer, I think maybe I'll just send it on the group chat. So we'll be closing now. Yeah.
Mid journey.
Yes, there's mid journey. There is I think there's in video is for video. There is
Yeah.
ah, working. Well, maybe I'll put this on video. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, Temi. So this does not end. This does not end. We are having another webinar next week. So we want to do like an AI series, just to touch every aspect. So we're having an AI series on marketing, mainly marketing. We have an AI series on product design, product development, and things like that. And guys, you can join us on this journey. We'll send an email later to join our WhatsApp group. Temi, can they get the PowerPoint
Of
presentation
course,
slide?
of course. And I feel
Right.
like there's some other links that I would probably just include to yeah. So of course you get the slides.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So reach out to send an email once Temi is our slide to us. We'll send an email so everyone can get it. Guys, thank you for joining. Thank you, Temi, so much. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everyone that did. This replay will be on YouTube latest by Monday, so you can watch the replay if you need to. Once again, bye everyone. This is Christian in Tech. See you on our next webinar.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone.